You've seen the news, read the headlines. Sexual harassment is in workplaces everywhere, all across the country, in companies big and small. It's in all types of workplaces. But if there's one thing that's been made clear recently, it's that sexual harassment is most common in the restaurant industry. Not only does it require staff to work unusual hours, and often in very close quarters with each other, it's an industry fueled by food, alcohol, and tips. So, to make your workplace a safer and more inclusive environment for everyone, sexual harassment cannot and will not be tolerated. This means that any reports of harassment will be taken seriously, all allegations will be thoroughly investigated, and action will be taken to ensure that the harassing behavior stops. It's time to 86 sexual harassment from your workplace. Today's training will help you understand the types of conduct that constitute sexual harassment and how to prevent it from happening in your workplace, as well as give you the tools you need to report instances of harassment. Throughout the course of this session, you'll be asked to put yourself in certain scenarios and answer questions about how best to handle the situation in light of these policies prohibiting harassment. So, let's get started. Sexual harassment is a form of sex discrimination and is therefore unlawful under federal, state, and local law. This includes harassment on the basis of sex, sexual orientation, self-identified or perceived sex, gender expression, gender identity, and the status of being transgender. Sexual harassment is unwelcome conduct, whether the behavior is of a sexual nature or the conduct is directed at someone because of that person's sex, when the behavior has the purpose or effect of unreasonably interfering with an individual's work performance or creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment, even if the reporting individual is not the intended target of the sexual harassment. The conduct is made either explicitly or implicitly, a term or condition of employment, or submission to or rejection of such conduct is used as the basis for employment decisions affecting an individual's employment. Now, even though this training is focused specifically on sexual harassment, everything we go over today can be applied to other types of workplace harassment or discrimination. Remember that any harassment or discrimination based on a protected characteristic is prohibited in the workplace and may lead to disciplinary action against the perpetrator. That includes age, race, creed, color, national origin, sexual orientation, military status, sex, disability, marital status, domestic violence victim status, gender identity, and criminal history. As we walk you through how to prevent sexual harassment, don't forget that the tools you learn in this training apply to all types of workplace harassment and discrimination. Sexual harassment can be broken down into two distinct categories: harassing behavior that creates a hostile work environment, and quid pro quo harassment. Before we break those down, let's walk through some examples and see if you can identify the types of behavior that constitute sexual harassment.